What's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken and welcome back to another video. Paladins is home to a variety of fun and unique champions to play, ranging from bomb-chucking robots to silly orcs and glistening knights. However, some champions and paladins have rather bland kits. They are either focused around one ability or have just a boring playstyle that numbs the mind. Some champions have abilities in their kits that also take away some of the skill involved with playing the game, which I believe makes them less fun to play. But with that being said, let's count down my picks for the top 4 most boring champions in the realm. Number 4. Berek. Berek makes it into the number 4 spot on this list because of his repetitive kit and rigid playstyle. Berek's kit isn't terrible. He places down turrets in a wall when necessary and can use his rocket boots to get out of danger. He shoots down stuff with his weak blunderbuss, and for his ulti, well, he just places down another turret and another wall. Berek's ultimate ability just seems to take 2 elements of his kit, buff them a little bit, and place them down for a few seconds. It's not exciting at all compared to other ultimates in the game like Bomb Kings or Drogos', which come with loud noises, explosions, and lots of damage. No, it just does more of the same stuff that Berek already does. His kit isn't the most boring thing about him though. Berek is one of the least flexible champions in the entire realm. He's traditionally a frontline, but unlike the other champions of the same class like Fernando or Makoa, he cannot flank. Berek is strictly a defensive tank. He gets on point and tries to defend the objective. And if he dies, it is very difficult to recapture the objective unless he is on an all-star team. Berek cannot flank, and offense is very difficult for him, which makes his playstyle very restrictive and not that fun to play. His health pool is also embarrassingly low for a tank, so he will be dead for much longer than most other tanks, and that's not very exciting either. Number 3. Vivian. Vivian is the third most boring champion to play because of her lack of a movement ability and bland weaponry. Vivian is already at a disadvantage in any match because she lacks a movement ability, being one of the only champions that can claim this. Her kit consists of a sensor drone that can detect enemies, which is useful with some smart placement, and she has a shield that can keep her alive longer when she comes under fire. Her sole mode of doing damage is through her machine gun that has an insanely large magazine, and this can get quite boring after only a few matches of playing her because it's the only thing that she can do. Her ultimate ability hardly improves the excitement. It gives her drones that shoot when she fires in the same direction that she's aiming at. Essentially, it gives her machine gun bonus damage in AoE. Like Berek, her playstyle is also quite rigid. Because of her lack of movement ability, she is restricted to the backlines where she is most effective at spraying out ammo for minutes on end. It's not easy to flank with her, and she of course cannot tank or heal, as her shield is nowhere near comparable to that of a tank's. Vivian is a very inflexible champion with a bland mode of dealing damage, which is why she makes number 3 on this list. Number 2. Lex. Lex is the first of 2 champions that Hi-Rez has created where they ran out of ideas for champion abilities and said, hey, let's give a champion aimbot. Lex's kit is one of the most uninspired ability sets in the game. He has 2 semi-automatic magnums that are fairly decent weapons and are not terribly inaccurate, which isn't bad. But the kicker is that he has aimbot as one of his abilities. This makes absolutely no sense, as he's got a hit scan weapon that shoots quickly. It's not like he's trying to aim a slow-moving projectile like Grover's axe or Eevee's ice staff. This ability takes away the satisfaction of killing someone in Paladins because it gives out free damage, and that's not very fun or exciting at all. His movement ability isn't too inventive, but it's certainly not bad, allowing him to slide towards his destination and bearing a short cooldown. His final ability, Retribution, is almost never used, however, for the sole reason that it is completely useless. It selects a target, making them revealed whenever they are nearby, and gives Lex credits if he kills them. Target selection is completely random though, so it basically serves no purpose if you're in a duel with Androxus, for instance, when your Retribution target is Kinessa. Activating Retribution also prevents you from using all other abilities while it is randomly selecting a target, which is not helpful if someone attacks you when you use that ability. There's just no incentive to use it, especially since targets are automatically selected from the start of the match, when the target dies, or when you're killed by the target. Lex's kit basically has 2 unique abilities, his combat slide and his magnums, which can go into aimbot mode for a few seconds. It is one of the most uninspired kits in the game, which is why he makes number 2 on this list. Number 1. Leon. Leon makes number 1 on this list for a whole load of issues that make her extremely boring to play. Leon has an heirloom rifle that deals some decent damage, but what makes her extremely boring is that her rifle is not only her sole mode of dealing damage, but it has 2 aimbot abilities. Her first aimbot ability is Valor, which damages all enemies in front of her for the damage of her weapon shot. Her movement ability, which is another combat slide just like Lex's, also has aimbot, shooting the nearest person to where she is aiming. These 2 aimbot abilities not only make her not fun to play because it's super unsatisfactory to kill someone with them, but it makes things boring because it takes away a lot of the skill required to play her. Leon is probably the lowest skilled champion in the game because of all this aimbot, and playing a champion that requires such little skill gets extremely boring and bland after a while. Leon also has only one mode of dealing damage, her rifle, which also makes things boring. She has one ability that can kind of spice things up with her rifle, Presence, which shoots out a bullet that passes through enemies and deals double damage. But she doesn't have a radically different mode of dealing damage that makes things interesting like most champions have, ranging from Victor's grenade to Drogo's fire spit to Ruckus's missiles. If variety is the spice of life, then Leon is plain bread. Everything about her seems uninspired, from her abilities to her weaponry, which is why I think Leon is the most boring champion in the realm to play. So I hope you guys have enjoyed my video on the top 4 most boring champions in the realm to play. Do you guys agree with my list? Be sure to leave a like and comment down below if you do. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.